Okay, so here we have our hub assembly with our rotor off of our truck. Now, you do not need to replace this entire assembly. I'm going to show you how to separate the rotor from the hub assembly here, so that if you're doing a brake job, you can have the rotor turned, which typically costs $10 to $15 versus however much it is to buy a new one. So all you need here is a sledgehammer and pick a lug nut to dedicate to the cause. And it may still be good when you're done. You might get lucky. But either way, pick a lug nut. So now what we have going on here is the rotor is held onto this hub assembly by these studs. And they get hammered out from the front and they'll come out the back here. So again, we're going to put the lug nut on one of these studs so we don't mess up our threads. We don't want to mushroom over the end of this either. And if you do mess these up, these are replaceable. Give it a couple taps. That'll drop out the bottom and move on to the next one. All you gotta do is screw it on there a few threads. Doesn't have to be all the way on. Just, you know, make sure you have a few threads on there. You don't want to hammer on just one or two threads. Now, mine came right apart because I just got done doing a bunch of work to this truck within the last year or two. If yours is seized together, fret not, my friend. We are better than Campbell's because we have a soup even for that. All you're going to do is, it definitely helps to use air tools here, but take an air ratchet, or air hammer I should say, and hammer on this lip, and that'll break this seal so you can separate these two parts. So once we have our hub assembly off, here's our rotor. We can now take this rotor down to the shop and get this turned and not spend the money buying a whole new one. Okay, so we got our rotors back from the shop. Now we're going to go over putting them back together. You can hit this surface here with a wire wheel, and it wouldn't hurt to put a little anti-seize on here so that this comes apart a little easier next time. So if you want to go ahead and you can, like I said, just give a little light coating of anti-seize different areas. Like I said, mine's been taken apart before, so mine's not bad at all. But again, that'll just help that break free the next time. So flip your hub assembly upside down, and then go ahead and line up the holes. And now we're going to drive these studs back down in there. So we'll go ahead and get these lined up. And again, if they're damaged at all, you can replace these. Okay, so to drive these studs back down in here, there's a couple different choices. My personal weapon of choice is going to be an air hammer with this snub tip. This works perfect for driving these down in there. So you just center this right on there, and we're just going to drive them right down in. So they're all driven down in there. And if you do have, now mine's on there nice and snug, if you do have just a tiny bit of play, you don't have to get too concerned about it. When you tighten down your lug nuts, everything's going to be squished together as you torque these down. It's all going to pull together. But yes, you'll be able to drive those down now. You should have them pretty close to seated. There shouldn't be big gaps back here. But again, if it's just a little hair gap, don't worry about that. But that's all there is to getting these rotors separated from the hub assemblies and replaced. So I hope that helped you out. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that now. Thanks for watching.